Well, good afternoon, Warren First family. It's Pastor Derek here. I just wanted to come on here and just have a little time of devotion. And I don't do this a whole lot, but it's been kind of a unique week, right? We had the eclipse that happened, and over the past 48 hours, we've seen people posting their photos and the pictures and making their comments, just in awe and amazement of God's creation, the beauty of what He has made and how amazing it is. And I wanted to just come on here and just read Psalm 121 together. And it tells us this: I lift my eyes to the mountains. Where does my help come from? My help comes from the Lord, the maker of heaven and earth. He will not let your foot slip. He who watches over you will not slumber. Indeed, he who watches over Israel will neither slumber or sleep. The Lord watches over you. The Lord is your shade or right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord will keep you from harm. He will watch over your life. The Lord will watch over your coming and going, both now and forevermore. And as we read this, we can kind of hear, the parallels. We hear, the sun won't harm us, the moon, and, those sort of things from this week. But really what stuck out to me was the beginning words of what we have here. I lift my eyes to the mountains. We just had, just a couple of days ago, so many gathered to our local communities to watch the eclipse, right? We went to the gathering places. We went out to our backyards if we had a good enough view and those sort of things, so we could lift our eyes to the Lord and bestow upon just witness His beauty and just be in awe of Him. And I would encourage us, we're at Wednesday. We've gone back to the normal hustle and bustle of life. Let's not stop lifting our eyes to the Lord, because He is where our help comes from. He loves us more than what we could know. I mean, he knitted us together in our mother's womb. He had us in mind, and He created us with a purpose because He loves us so much. I mean, we can have so many things go on in this life, and we can look at like the Gospel of Matthew in chapter 8, where we see Jesus and the disciples going to cross the Sea of Galilee. And when they do, they get on this boat. And as they're getting on this boat and they're setting sail, there was this big squall or storm that hits the boat, and it hit it so hard it looked like the boat was going to go under. And the disciples thought for sure, this is over. This is where it all ends. And at that time, Jesus was getting a little bit of rest. He was resting his eyes, taking a little nap, and they wake him up and they say, Jesus, don't you care that we're going to drown? Are you not concerned with the issues that we have? And Jesus gets up. He stops the storm in an instant. And he looks at the disciples and said, do you think that I'm not concerned with what you have going on? Do you think I don't care about you, that I don't have this under control? Why don't you trust me? See, we've never been guaranteed that we're not going to have storms in our lives. But the promise that we have from God is that no matter what storm we face, we will never face that storm alone. Because we'll always have somebody in that boat with us. Jesus will always be with us through our storms. And He'll help us. He wants us to do this journey through life with Him. And He wants to help us as we go along. And so regardless of where we are in our faith or how we're feeling today or this week, I would invite us just to continue lifting our eyes towards the Lord, because He is where our help comes from. If you do not have a church where you can feel that you're plugged in and you're being poured into and that sort of thing, and you have that church community, I want to let you know Wharton First has a seat available for you. If you have another church that's local that you can get plugged into a church. Get into His Word. Dive a little deeper this week. The eclipse was a special time that we've been able to really have that devoted time to look up. But let's not stop that at Monday. Let's keep looking up this week, and we'll see the beauty and amazing things God has for us as we continue. I thank you for this time and watching. I pray a blessing on each one of you, And I'm excited to be able to gather again this Sunday to worship God through song and word together. And we'll see you then. Thank you, family. We'll see you soon.